one of the most iconic parts of leaving school is your first holiday with your friends, the first time you're away from your parents, the first time where you can do what you want. No rules. This is before you inevitably split away from your family, going to university, or heading off into the big broad world of work and adult life. So for me, I was going away with two of my close friends, Tara and Lois. We had planned our trip well in advance, flying to Amsterdam, where we would stay in the lovely Bob's Youth Hostel, and then make our way to Berlin, making sure that we were staying in Kreuzberg, which we had heard was the cool part of Berlin. And when I say planned it all in advance, that's about as far as we got, because talking about boys and having dominoes was far more important at that point. And you know the way there's always that one person in the group who seems to be slightly more organized, or who is more sensible. Unfortunately, we didn't quite have that. But anyway, let's not worry about that now. So first stop, Amsterdam. Here we go. A few beers at the airport, and let's see where the next few weeks would take us. Just one slight problem that we did have is that we had our flight booked from Pula, which was just north of Croatia, and had only planned to Berlin, but another time to worry about that. So lots of fun was had in Amsterdam, riding our bikes, trying to avoid getting fined on the trams. Next stop was Berlin, where we arrived at 4 a.m. in the morning. As well as that, it was Tara's birthday, but we wanted to avoid paying for a hostel that night, so I don't think she's going to make that kind of mistake again. So she enjoyed having her birthday in McDonald's in Berlin train station. It's very nice McDonald's if you ever go. So next we were off to Krakow, which was a really nice train ride, one which we didn't pre-book. But we went into one of the first class carriages. It was absolutely lovely. And as we were talking about how we were so excited to get to Krakow, we just happened to have a lady who was carrying her cats in a box beside us, and she was speaking in some broken English that we were in fact on our way to the north of Poland, and we wanted to get down to Krakow, which is sort of more near the south. So not to panic, we got off at the next stop, and in the middle of Poland, so we had to camp out in the damp and in the cold and the dark and the wet, and the best form of warmth that we had was, whenever you go traveling, I don't know if you've seen all the people with their microfiber towels, so we'd already been using these for about a week at this point, so they were absolutely disgusting, but they were the best that we had. So anyway, we found a train departing in the early hours of the morning and finally made it to Krakow. It was definitely worth it for the picturesque city, really, really nice. And we had so many paragogs. So next stop was Budapest. Another really nice train journey, which again, we didn't pre-book, and we had a view from the floor. So there were people literally walking on top of us along the train journey, but anyway, doesn't matter. So Budapest is really, really nice, a really nice culture and really nice food, but bearing in mind, I'm leaving out all the really bad parts because my mum and dad are on this call as well. So anyway, the holiday was nearly over. We needed to get to Pula. This is the most important part. So by this point, we were low on money and energy, and the last day of Budapest was spent sleeping on our beehive themed hostel. And I was trying to find the best way for us to get to Pula as cheaply as possible. So what do you go to? You go to Google. So I typed in Budapest to Pula cheap and hit search. I scrolled down a few listings. There it was, blah blah car, a ride-sharing app that definitely looks safe for 3 teenage girls. I think the name in itself was questionable. So I happened to find someone who was traveling the next day from a small town just 30 minutes west of Budapest to somewhere that was kind of near Pula. It was good enough, and we were desperate to get there. 3 seats left, perfect. It was exactly like modern day hitchhiking. What on earth could go wrong? So we got to the station just west of Budapest and waited and waited no one turned up, and we sort of started to panic. We really didn't have much money to get ourselves to Croatia and get back to Budapest to be able to take the main train to Croatia. But lo and behold, he turns up, a dark grey van, promising, pulled up into the station with the correct number plate, and a man got out. We sort of all held ourselves back, but we stood out more than anyone with our extremely pale skin, or hair that hadn't been washed for a week, and our bags that were double the size of us. And so he saw us, so we nervously made our way over towards him, and we got into the car, and he was with his wife. They were told us they were going to an island just off Croatia, which was perfect for us, and they were traveling to get away from their children. So unluckily for them, they just picked up 3 more children. But it was really nice. They gave us food and drinks and air conditioning. It turned out to be the most amazing journey that we could have had, and they took us on a boat towards the island and asked us where we needed to get to. And although they weren't going directly to Pula, they were able to drop us somewhere that seemed to be in the same sort of direction. So they dropped us off on one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. It's an island called Maliloshni, which is somewhere that is always going to be really, really special to me, and the landscapes are just amazing. And our lucky car share had come to an end, and we found the most quaint little house to stay in. It was very, very strange because the lady that we were staying with, she didn't speak a word of English. So each time we were coming in and out of her house, we just smiled and waved. It was like a very strange scenario, but I think she knows that we appreciated her hospitality. That there was one strange thing in the room because there was a really scary painting that we had to turn around in the bedroom. But apart from that, it was a really nice little house. And anyway, so we found a boat from the island, which was going directly to Pula. So it was about an hour's journey from Pula. And I think luck was really, really on our side for this whole duration of the holiday, considering we didn't plan out very much of it. So we made it to the airport, exhausted, but really excitable to tell all our family and friends the things that we'd gotten up to. But we did decide to save the hitchhiking part to once we were home, and some other parts I think were best left out completely. So thank you very much. That's me.
Okay, I have your picture. This is the picture of you guys on your holiday. Now, your parents are on this call, yeah?
They are.
You let the children travel on their own? I mean, look, those children are about 12 years old. Ruth, thank you so much. Where are you?
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, we're delighted. Where are you?
I'm in Reading at the moment. So mom and dad are in Toom in Northern Ireland. So
well, thank you very much. An absolute joy.
you.
Thank you. See you again. Hope.
All the best. Thank you.